Hi, I'm Jazz, and this is All That Jazz, and I am an alcoholic, and I'm codependent. I used to pride myself on being a high-functioning alcoholic, and what I would do is I would justify my drinking because I would work so hard, or I would never miss work, or I would never be late, and so because I worked so hard and I was such a high achiever in my field, that is the way I used to justify my drinking. And I did that for a long time. I was super high functioning. Most people didn't know I was really alcoholic because I hid it so well and I worked so hard. And I was so good at just making sure you only saw what I wanted you to see. So I was a master at making sure that the front was really good and that extra drinking that I did was behind closed doors. And for myself, I used to say I'm fine to drink the way I drink because I can afford it, because I work hard, because I have a business, because stuff's not hitting the fan yet. So I always had something to say to myself to allow myself to continue to drink. I always had an excuse or something to say to myself to let me to continue to behave the way that I was behaving. So I stayed in that circle of manipulation for a really long time with everything, with not looking to change or how to change. I would just say it's fine to me. I'm the boss of me and I'm going to get what I want at any cost, but it's fine because I do this thing, and this thing, and society accepts those things. So I get to do whatever I want over here. While I did this though, I wasted a lot of time. I did a lot of internal damage, and all I did was lie to myself because as that alcoholic, my disease is progressive. And it did. My disease grew and grew in the dark, and it grew until it just took over my whole life. And I'm glad that I did get to hit a bottom, because sometimes people don't hit a bottom. Like, it's easy to not hit a bottom in some ways when you might have all the money in the world, or someone might let you do everything you want, or never say no to you or enable you. Like, it is easy to continue on and never change. And in my case, as a high-functioning alcoholic, my drinking career just eventually did catch up with me. But thank God, like, if I'm a high-functioning alcoholic today, I kind of think I have a problem. Like, I could go get help. I could change my life now instead of waiting for it all to blow up down the road. Like, there's nothing stopping me from wanting to get ahead of that change, from embracing that maybe it wouldn't be so bad to get healthy and clean and sober. Like, what if some of this stuff out in the world is actually right? Like, what if I could have like a better life and have more consistency and routine? And what if I could be freer? What if I got enough confidence that I could actually be myself and live in this world in a new way? That is the freedom of sobriety. Like, there are so many gifts in sobriety, and I would have never believed that though as the drunk that I was in active addiction. Like, I thought I was this. I thought I was it. Like, in my, late 20s, early 30s, just running my own show and like making my money and doing whatever I wanted and just living like that. And, because it didn't look bad and things weren't a total mess, then I was doing just fine drinking all the time whenever I wanted. And I was actually just living the big lie. I was just living in that trap, and I was going towards that outcome. I didn't think it was going to happen, but eventually it did happen. So high-functioning alcoholic doesn't mean I'm not alcoholic. It just means that I'm high-functioning, I'm high-achieving, and I'm an alcoholic. I'm still an alcoholic. when I get into Alcoholics Anonymous, I start getting rid of the booze. I start changing my life. I have the program to help me. I have the community and the support. I have the love. I have the new way. I have all the tools there that are going to help me to get sober and stay sober, to get to a better life, better than any kind of drinking life that I was trying to make. Like, I was always trying to make everything with drinking. And after I was in that program for a while, I start working on those same behaviors where I would justify my drinking. And then I was in sobriety. I had to work on what am I justifying in my life? Like, I would justify abuse in the home. I would justify domestic stuff. I would justify emotional stuff. I would justify things that I didn't like happening to me or around me and be like, oh, it's going to change. I'd make excuses. So there was a lot more to my life when I started getting into sobriety. There was a lot more that had to change after the booze was gone. And once I got rid of a lot of the bad, then I had to start working on what good I can add into my life. I started building my life, but there was a lot of cleanup. A lot of stuff had to be removed to make space for that stuff. I had to process a lot of anger and resentment. I had to learn how to feel. This journey, it is a journey because it's taking a long time. It's going to take the whole time. And that's okay because I'm actually having a good time now. I'm not focused on like, what kind of money do I need to get this so I can be okay for today? Like I was just so, my view was so narrow when I was at an active addiction. And then I got to that bottom and I didn't want to quit drinking. I just wanted the pain to stop. And yeah, so high functioning alcoholic doesn't mean you're not alcoholic. High functioning alcoholic is high achieving at work and everything else, so you can just get away with your alcoholism. But that alcoholism is there. And it's up to me if I want to have that alcoholism there. I don't have to have it there. I don't have to let my whole life blow up to make a change. And then even in sobriety, like I don't have to have everything come down all the time to make a change. Like I can choose to wake up whenever I want. I can choose to just be like a person that starts looking. Hey, I want to get on this now. I want to get ahead of this. What can I do? Like I can change anytime and start to do that work. It doesn't always have to be when the carnage is here, when the whatever person's banging on the door for the money, or it doesn't have to be when the family leaves or when the girlfriend leaves or it doesn't have to be when you lose the job. The changing of a behavior, those big things can start with making some small new behaviors and not waiting till things hit the fan all the time. And that's alcoholism. Alcoholics, I'm an alcoholic and I've had to work on this. It's like not going, oh, it's all blown up. Now what do I do? It's just more like trying to live with like, what could I do to make my life healthier? What am I getting really obsessed with? Like getting aware about things. Like what changes can I make? I'm noticing that they're like this all the time. What's that about? Like I'm really trying to turn the light bulb on in myself and really look in to see what can I change out here? Like, what can I actually work on? What can I work on in me? Am I receiving all of this information properly? Or I've like a really clogged filter here that's receiving info wrong. Like, this is all stuff that I can control. It's a lot easier. I got to get the sober part down if I'm an alcoholic. And then I got to get my behaviors down. I got to really work on those other changes in my life. And if my life is still blowing up in places in sobriety, well, then what am I justifying? What excuses am I making? Maybe I should write them down. Like, am I so needing that to be a certain way? Am I so wanting to, am I in that dishonesty? I need to be honest. I need to be honest and look at it. And it's harsh to look at, but when I really own that truth and look at it, then I can really make some change. But I can choose to get away from the things that are blowing up all the time. I can not let it get to that point. I can choose to wake up. And if I'm having a hard time waking up, I can get to people that can help me wake up. Tell me the cold hard truth. Get myself around truth tellers. People that aren't scared to hurt my feelings. They're just going to tell it to me straight. That's the best way that I've gotten to my truth. I've often had people that just really say it how it is, that give it to me straight. I don't want to mess around and waste time. I just want to know, what do you see? What's going on with me? Why am I doing that? I'm always investigating my own stuff. And that's helped me get through my journey a lot quicker than dawdling around and not asking any questions at all, just walking around aloof. So I'm in the game. Like, I'm constantly in the game and trying to get my head checked, getting focused. And because I know that I'm a driven person that's high. I know I'm a high functioning alcoholic. Well, I'm going to be a very high functioning sober person too. So I got to watch myself too. Like what am I dodging and getting myself out of, and why am I doing that? Like, I'm really looking in and getting away from when things are blowing up in my face to make that change. Like, really learn to live a little bit more preventative. But high functioning alcoholic, it's a thing. I was one of those, and I justified myself for a long time because I could do so much while I was an alcoholic. Like, I did a lot of things as a high functioning alcoholic, but it was okay because I always went to work, because I always had money, because I was the person to get everybody out of things or get things done. And so that's all that people saw. So finally, when it really got, internally, it really got to me, and I really wasn't able to handle myself, and I hit a bottom. That was great. But sometimes that cannot happen for people. So I'm glad I got to that bottom. But high functioning alcoholic doesn't mean you don't have a problem, is what I'm trying to say. The problem is there. The problem is there, and it's up to whoever wants to start, fixing it. You don't have to wait till the very end. You don't have to wait to hit a bottom. You can get on it whenever you want to get on it, like sooner the better. So anyways, thank you guys for being here, and I'll catch you at the next one. Okay, bye.